It is raining a lot. Here in Texas, we have spent months being hot and dry, and lately, because of some storms in the Gulf, we've been getting a lot of rain. So I'm going to walk around the farm and see how some of the animals are doing, making sure they're not drowning, sitting in water, and just give you a glimpse of what the farm looks like right now with a lot of rain. First of all, right off the front porch around the house, we're going to take a look at these Silkies. It's not raining terribly hard right at the moment. It was just a minute ago. You can see a lot of water sitting around. But these Silkies, they look like they're doing okay. Let me put the umbrella up here. Try to prop that up here while I go in. Oh, I'll just lay it down. Alright, let's go in, see how these Silkies are doing. It is wet. They do have a tarp over the top, so this part here doesn't get a lot of direct rain. It gets a lot of water on the ground. The babies we were a little concerned about. They're not babies, but so it looks like they're doing okay. They're getting a little wet. They do have the dry area here. They also have a dry area underneath here. So I think they're doing okay. Some of them are still kind of dry. Anyway, I think the Silkies are all right. Not worried about it. The area is not flooding right here, so they're okay. Let's go on. Let's go out here and check on the tortoises and turtles. You can see the water sitting in some of these areas around the septic. No, it's not septic water. It was coming down so hard just a minute ago. I grabbed the camera, my phone, and was hoping to show you that. You can see there's a puddle here. That's where we started to dig for a pond so the tortoise can get in and soak. That's Coco over here. And Jack has a little flood in his area. You saw him stick his head out there. I think Coco's trying to figure out if he wants to come out for the day. The box turtle enclosure does have drainage. If you watch that video, you can see I built a drainage layer. So it drains outside. You can even see the water flowing out. So that's working. That's good. Let's see where they are in here. Oh, there's one. That's the little girl. So she's sitting underneath that terracotta pot. They do like sitting in water, so I don't think that's a big deal. They are turtles. Let's see if we can find that boy. Oh, there he is. There's the boy there. He's a little higher and a little drier, so he's okay. There is a little water accumulation, but that will drain through the soil and out the side over here where I have that drain pipe, or drain hole. Let's see, let me grab my umbrella and we'll head over. Coco, you going back inside? You giving up on today? Wow, in just that short amount of time, my umbrella got filled up. All right. Let's see what else. The butterfly garden is getting very well watered. I was a little concerned after all that hot, dry weather that our grass was just not going to return. But let me give you a look at the grass right down here. You can see there's a lot of things growing on the ground now that we've had some rain and a little bit of sunshine last week. But there is actually some grass coming back too. Let's walk over and take a look at the butterfly garden. I think this is the year that it was just really getting established. We planted it last fall. There's my butterfly garden sign. It's a good thing I put that clear coat on it, or else I think it would be totally destroyed. But the butterfly garden is, I think, establishing good roots this year. I did water it some through the summer, and now I think it's, hopefully next year will be the year that we see significant growth on the butterfly garden. There's a few things that didn't make it. I'll have to have Drake over at some point and have her assess the garden and let us know what is growing still, what did we lose, and how is it all doing. So I look forward to having her to come over and check out the butterfly garden. We're gonna walk up front for just a moment. The wind's picking up. The rain's coming down, the wind's picking up. We're gonna look at the grape arbor and the orchard area. You can see my grape arbor. The grapes are growing. The grapevines grew pretty well this year. I didn't get a lot of very good grapes off of it. Most of them I just left on there to, you can see they're just kind of hung there and dried in place. I need to figure out the best way to prune grapes. I haven't done a lot of research on that, so I need to figure that out. This is my tomato garden that produced a whole lot of yellow pear tomatoes, and right now the soil is just waiting for some amendments, some manure, and more compost and mulch. That's going to produce really well next spring, I believe. My poor orchard. You haven't seen a lot of videos lately. I haven't done a whole lot of production up here. The trees really suffered this year. I got a few pears on some of the trees, but they just pretty much dried up. They didn't have enough water this year. The Kiefer pear produced, but the pears are so little and so hard. I've been giving those to the pig and the chickens. I don't think I'll get anything out of those for myself this year. And the peach tree, that one is dead. And the nectarine trees have just had a hard time, real hard time. So that one's pretty much gone. And this one's barely hanging on over here. It has one good branch on it. So we'll see how that goes through next year. This pear tree kind of shut down in the heat. I'm hoping it didn't die, but we'll see. We'll see what comes back next year. My apple tree, I think it might be gone. I'm not sure. Both of these apple trees look really, really bad. You can see up here in the front area, up by the gate, we're accumulating a lot of water. This is where all the water runs down to. So the gate area has a lot of water. The orchard's collecting as it's running off, collecting over here. Let's go back and look at the horses. Looks like the horses are enjoying the barn. That's good. You'll have to forgive the sound. The pool pump is going out. It's going to make a lot of racket. We won't hang out here for too long, but you can see the horses have just really tore up the ground back here. And we're going to lose a little bit of that soil up in this area as it flows down toward the house. You can see it's really muddy. This ground is just super sloppy. The horses have eaten all the grass. Hey Teo. Hey Maggie. They've eaten all the grass and their hooves are just tearing up this space back here. You can see we roped a little bit off and it's greener over there because we have kept the horses off of it for a while. Also threw some grass seed out there. It is encouraging to see a little bit of growth coming back. And where it's the worst is where the horses hang out the most, which is right up in this area around the barn. It looks really, really bad, which is another reason why I decided to throw some grass seed and protect this area over here just a little bit. We'll go back and look at the bees too. The water's not flowing like it has in the past. It's been fairly gentle, but it's starting to accumulate here. This is where the water comes in from this area over here, gathers up here, and then starts to run like a river through here. And so far it's not running. That's good. We don't want it to run through and tear out all that topsoil. Let me show you what I did over here. I added a whole lot of mulch to our manure pile. And you can see the manure is growing mushrooms. That's really nice to see. It's good for the breaking down that material. We'll take the tractor and mix that pile up real nice. We'll be dumping manure on the sides like this here, and then when we accumulate a little bit, we'll take the tractor and mix it in. Make a really big compost pile. Eventually that compost pile will be spread out probably back here in the horse area to encourage healthy soil where the horses are helping to destroy the soil. And back here with the bees, they should be doing okay. They're not usually too disturbed. Looks like they're hunkered in. I don't see too many bees coming and going. Right now there's just the 3 hives. I had this little one up front because I thought I was going to divide a hive, but I never did. And I need to, you can see that one is actually, the lid's warping. I need to build a new lid for that. So that's the bee area. And we'll just walk through a little bit over here. That wind's really pushing my umbrella around. You can see the water accumulating. It's not as bad as it has been in the past. If you look at some of my previous rain videos, the rain is really just flooding and tearing through my property, but this one's been more gentle, a little slower. By the way, if you don't know, we call these rain lilies, and they only come out when it rains. Most of the year we don't see them, and then we get a good rain, they pop up for a few days, and then they go away. Woo! Blowing my umbrella. Lots of rain lilies back here right now. I love seeing those. I'm probably gonna have to go inside here and cut the video off because it's really blowing me around. You probably can't see it very well, but I'm having a hard time holding the umbrella and the camera at the same time. Right over here is one of the exit points for water. It builds up and then exits right over here through the fence line. You can see over the years where it's built up, and then it dumps over into the neighbor's property. So we are getting a fair amount of rain building up there, water puddling up. Good thing I wore my rubber boots. This area where we eventually are going to do an arena, we have to take a lot of this soil from areas over here and then build it up. Create a nice area with a more of a sandy surface for the horses to ride on. It'd be really cool if we could do a covered arena, but I don't think we'll invest that much in it. Everything is a sloppy mess right now. I'm glad I have the horse barn. I was going to say done. It's almost done. I still haven't covered the awning, but I think they're doing okay. I'm glad I have that for them. The garden has been a miserable dry place over the last 3 months or so. It's loving the water, but it still looks a mess. The chaya plants have done really well. They love heat. The moringa plants up against the greenhouse over there, they're doing pretty well too. They're doing okay. And I did get one moringa pod. Let's go take a look at that. This is the chaya. It's doing really well. It survives really well in places that are hot and dry, some neglect. My lemon trees, I had to prune them pretty severely because they were drying out. It was hard to keep them watered. But the moringa has done okay. And I do have one seed pod. I'm going to get a few moringa seeds out of that. Start some more trees. You can see this is a little lemon tree that I have that I pruned way back. There are some baby leaves coming back on that. The garden's not much to show off right now. It's a wreck. But you know, life has been a challenge over the last few months. Most of you know that I lost my father a few weeks ago, and I'm trying to shut this gate here while holding the umbrella. I lost my father a few weeks ago, and that event leading up to that, and then even after that, slowed us down a lot. Of course, that's okay. It's okay that we didn't produce anything here on the farm. We let some things go, and then also just took a break. That's why it's been a while for me to produce a video. I did a live show this morning. Some of you were there, and I appreciate that. But yeah, let's look at the ducks. They're loving this area over here. We have a little tiny flock of ducks there. There's 5 ducks that hang out together all the time. And a larger flock here. I think there's, I don't know, 25 or so ducks there. And then the big flock of, or the flock of larger ducks, they kind of run together, but that is 2 distinct flocks there. The larger ducks, there's 2 Australian spotteds that run with the larger ducks. And then the whole flock of Australian spotteds, which is the smaller duck. I wonder if the pig is out. Here is inside the goat house. Fawn has had a real difficult time with bloat and whatever else it is that bothers her. She's actually recovering now. We thought there for a little while we were going to have to put her down. But we've been giving her a lot of roughage and probiotics and different things as directed by a neighbor of ours who has goats. And she is slowly recovering. And there's Sally in here enjoying laying under the... Hey, Sally. How you doing? She doesn't like being touched. She likes knowing we're there. At least she seems to like it. How you feeling today, Fawn? Huh? How you feeling today? Callie, you still doing okay? Yeah. Looks like you guys took care of that little bit of hay I put in here. Nice work. There's something special about this space back here. I didn't engineer it exactly as, well, the lighting's kind of weird. But this goat pen area, I think it's just positioned really well off the back of the chicken coop. As far as light and rain and temperature, I do have the one wall over here that is 2 pallet walls. It's two 8-foot pallets on top of each other, and then has the cedar fence boards on the outside. That's the south side, so it blocks a lot of the heat coming in. So generally speaking, this area is usually cooler when everything is burning hot, and also it's warmer when things, I don't know how, but it seems to be just a nice regulated area for the animals. So the goats and the pig right now are really enjoying being in here. It's very comfortable. I think it has something to do with it being on the back side of this space, the chicken coop, which has that covered area, so, and then the vented. It just buffers and creates a nice flow through, so it's a nice regulated space. I'm glad it worked out like that. When I built it, I wasn't thinking of all that. I did think about the south wall, but I didn't know that it was going to turn out to be so well suited for the animals back here. But they really do love this space. There's a few things I need to do to improve it. For example, I put the wrong wire on the door and they're pushing through it, so I need to take that wire off and put a heavier gauge wire on there. But overall, this has been a really nice space for the animals, you know, as far as comfort and protection for the goats and the pig. And even sometimes there's a few ducks and chickens that find their way in there and hang out for a while. This space out here has recovered with some of the greenery. It was looking like a desert earlier, just a month ago. And now that we've had some rain and some sunshine, it's starting to grow back as well. That's always nice to see. We have the one mulberry tree that I planted. It's in the corner back there behind the red tractor, the red coupe, and that's looking fine. This area has worked out really well for the goats and the pig, and sometimes, you know, the chickens. And the big chickens, they haven't been let out yet. They're just kind of hanging out in their coop. Hey girls. Alright, hey, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm not going to keep this video running all day. I just wanted to give you a look what's going on here in the rain in Texas. This has been a fairly wet September. After a very long, hot, dry summer. It started at 100 degrees in May, and we got very little relief from that all the way through August. And now that we're in September, we have a little bit of break in temperature and a lot of break in moisture. We're getting a lot of rain, so it's always nice to see the farm get some rain and recover after the long, hot summers. And it's also very nice to have you here with me on the Daddykirbs farm. A true pleasure to share in community with you guys. You guys share your stories with me in the comments below, and also in the family group, the Daddykirbs family group on Facebook, a closed group where we can enjoy hanging out together as a family, F-A-N-I-L-Y. Thank you so much for sharing this time with me. I'm not going to point to the camera because I'm holding an umbrella, but I'll talk to you soon. Bye.